G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. Let's go. I told my mum how jealous I am of my half-siblings, and now she won't stop crying. I, 16 male, was born to my mum when she was 15, and I've never known my real dad. My mum didn't drop out of school or anything, and the year after I was born, she started dating Jack, and when they went to university, I obviously got left behind with my grandparents. Mum and Jack got good degrees, got married, and moved to a city by Vancouver. My mum's always been in my life. She would still come home every weekend just to cuddle with me, and would always give me these nicknames, but calling me her special guy would be her favorite one. She'd always bring me back presents and gifts, and spend the whole time playing with me. She's the one who paid for my tutoring and after-school stuff, and would try to make it to games and stuff like that. Jack wouldn't always come with her, but it was always fun when he would. He's taken me fishing with him a lot of times, and we even went camping for 2 weeks together once, but never again because I hate camping. But when I was 10, my mum and Jack had a daughter, and then another girl 3 years ago. I don't really know them, especially because my mum stopped coming over as much after they were born. We don't cuddle anymore. We did on my birthday, but that's it. No more cute nicknames for me except for special guy. It's like they all got transferred to her daughters. No more gifts, and the worst part is, she doesn't come to my games anymore. It was okay with me before because they still had a spare room in their house, and I could go there when it's time for university. Yesterday, my mum FaceTimed me, and she had the big announcement that she was going to have another baby, and it was a boy, and now she would have 2 special guys. I guess she saw how sour my face was because she asked what's wrong, and I don't know. I just admitted how jealous I was that her daughters got her so much, and now her son was going to get her, and there wouldn't even be space for me there when I had to go to university. And I guess what I said affected her because she started crying and wouldn't stop and had to hang up. My grandparents are mad that I made her upset and think that I don't value them now or something. Jack phoned me, and he's mad because my mum thinks it's a mistake now to have another kid, and also mad at me because he was like, why would I ever think that they wouldn't have a room for me? I feel like I really messed up telling her that, and here I am at school, writing about it on Reddit because I can't stop thinking about it. I just want to know who can afford to have 4 kids in Vancouver these days. Jeez Louise. In the comments, why couldn't you move back once she graduated and started another family? She can't have her cake and eat it too. Unless the grandparents formally adopted him, then he is still her child. She passed the buck completely, and her parents enabled her. Not helped, they enabled the abandonment. It baffles me how people can just leave kids and start completely new families. And now they've decided that he should have suffered in silence so none of the adults are required to feel bad about what they've done. Exactly that. She may cry and incite pity, but you're the victim in this situation, no matter what they tell you. I'm so sorry that she acts so dismissive of your feelings. I don't know why all the adults in your life are blaming you, a child, for your very valid feelings about this. They should be trying to make you feel more comfortable and included, rather than try to smother your genuine feelings. Your mum feels bad because she should. She's in her 30s now. There is no reason why she can't be around you more. There is no reason OP shouldn't be living with his mother. If she's supporting her own family and having kids, the grandparents' time of raising OP should be over now. I question why OP's mum doesn't have him living with her. I was surprised when mum finished college that she didn't move her son into her home. No wonder he feels neglected. I feel like Jack played a big role in why he is not living with them. It's horrible when new parents don't accept children from previous relationships and treat them with love and respect. I understand that the children must also treat the new partner with love and respect, but adults are adults and children are children. Some adults don't have maturity, and so many stepchildren feel unloved. Jack wonders, why would you ever think they wouldn't have room for you via FaceTime from a different house in a different city where you don't live? They've made it clear for your whole life that they haven't had room for you, and you deserve better. This is what baffled me. Why the F don't they have room for him now? Why doesn't he get to live with them? Why didn't he before the daughters were born? Why did they not take OP to Vancouver once they had graduated? How insanely hurtful. Jack can kick rocks, and Mum can stay feeling guilty because she knows she's in the wrong. And now, on to the update. An update to how things went over the weekend. So, I posted on Friday at school, and when I came home, my mum and Jack and their kids were already there talking to my grandparents. As soon as my mum saw me, she gave me such a big hug, she actually lifted me up for a second, which is weird because I'm taller than her now, and then wouldn't stop kissing me on the face and telling me that she loves me. I said hi to everyone, and my grandparents had my mum take me into my room to talk to me alone. In my room, she told me that she was sorry that I felt like she'd been paying me less attention and that a new baby isn't going to replace me, and I'd always be her special guy. I started crying, so we weren't able to talk until I calmed down, and then Jack came in and joined us. I just admitted that I felt like I wasn't that important to my mum anymore, and if they were having a boy, then there would be no point in them taking me when it's time for university. And then Jack left because he kind of started crying hearing me say that, and that was weird. My mum told me that she wanted to take me when I was 13 and going into high school because she thought that that was the best time to do it. Except, she argued with my grandparents about it a lot, and they said that it was best if I stayed with them. Then, when my mum took me to a game, she saw how much fun I was having with my friends and thought that they were right. When I said that I wanted to go to SFU, she and Jack were happy because it meant that I would be with them when I graduated. When I asked about the spare room that was meant to be mine, she admitted that they hadn't thought about what would be the baby's room and would have to figure something out since they aren't giving up my room. My mum told me that she'd come and take me every weekend because she said that it was wrong that she started paying less attention to me, but thought that it was okay because I was independent and had my grandparents. She said that she wanted me to spend my breaks with them as well. I don't want to leave my high school, but my mum said that I could do that for my grad year if I wanted to move in with them earlier. I did have a talk with Jack too, and he told me that he was glad that I confessed everything and that his parents got mad at me for not telling him that when he called me. We did all have a fun weekend together, except my grandparents, because they don't leave the house because of COVID, and I do want weekends to keep being like that. In the comments, so proud of you, OP. You advocated for yourself and spoke about your feelings and needs, which is not an easy thing to do. You also spoke about your future thoroughly and were able to plan what's best for you. I'm happy for you, and I'm glad that they had this much-needed wake-up call. I also love that Jack's parents handed him a reality check. Him crying might just be because he is upset at himself and feeling guilty. No way to know for sure unless he says it. But one thing for sure is, they all love you very much and care about you and your well-being. I can't wait for you to enjoy SFU with them and be a great big brother and a role model to your little brother. It's really special to see them grow up, and he will love you loads and look up to you. OP replies, I've always loved Jack's parents. They went to school with my oldest aunt, so they've always been close to our family and always get me the best gifts for Christmas. They didn't say, but I'm pretty sure they're the ones who told Jack to buy me a PS5 for my birthday. I'm so happy for you, and really hope they keep their word. The fact you say their kids instead of your sisters or half-sisters broke my heart. I have a half-sister myself and always saw her as my sister even though there's been hard phases and she was gone for pretty long times when I was a child. Don't mean that you should feel like that too, but the fact that you don't see them as any kind of sisters is really, really sad. I hope for the three of you that you'll be able to bond and can build a relationship. And OP replies, I don't know why I do that. I didn't even think about it as I wrote it like that. I know they're my sisters, but I guess I didn't really think about them like that. Hopefully you're right and we'll all become close. I'm starting to think that there may be something your grandparents don't want you to know. They went against your mother taking you back when you were 13. Why would they do that? And what's the issue with the grandparents getting angry about you asking about your father? There are some secrets. You are more than old enough to know them. And OP replies, I don't really care about asking my dad. I could have asked my mum about him a long time ago, but I don't think that it's important, and all it's going to do is make her sad. Seems like a lot of grief could have been prevented if the adults had asked him if he wanted to remain with grandparents or to go with mum, or even at the least explain to him the reasoning behind him not going. Crazy how simple questions in communication can solve most of these problems posted here. Our next post is titled, "My husband cheated on me. Do you guys think that it's a one-time thing?" My husband and I have been in a relationship for 6 years. We got married 3 years ago. I am 24 female, he is 29 male. I thought our relationship was perfect. There was never any signs of anything being wrong. He came home on time every day and left for work on time every day. He was always affectionate, and I thought our relationship was perfect. But then when he was in the shower, I saw a notification on his phone. It was from a girl on Instagram that I'd never seen before. I then opened his phone with his passcode. He'd always been very open with me about his passcode and things like that, and I'd never checked his phone before because I didn't feel like I had to. When I opened Instagram, which I didn't even know he had downloaded, I found a bunch of messages to small influencers who posted revealing photos. I am in no way against them, but my husband was clearly flirting with them. His account had some photos of him with some heavy filtering, and his bio said he was 25 and single. I was shocked, obviously, and just kept staring at the phone. But I just couldn't stop looking. I took screenshots and sent them to myself with the username of the girls. When my husband came out of the shower, he found me crying and on his phone. He quickly realized what happened, and he started to comfort me and tell me that it was just a one-time mistake. I asked if he'd gone on dates and slept with any of the women. Then he got angry and started shouting at me that I invaded his privacy. He kicked me out of the house and I went to a friend's home. I'd never seen that side of him before. In 6 years, he'd always been so sweet and loving. Sometimes he'd get angry, sure, but everyone did, and I can't blame him for that. I know men have urges to cheat sometimes because it's just how they are biologically, so I don't blame them. I just wish he'd talk to me. My friends told me that I'm being delusional and made a good point about how he hadn't apologized yet. I thought I should post here after lurking for a while and ask for some advice on what I should do because I feel so lost right now. In the comments, forget about the cheating for 1 minute and focus on the fact that your husband kicked you out of the house for asking a question. He kicked you out of your home. Now go back to the cheating. Do you really want to be with someone who treats you so poorly? You deserve better. He kicked her out in a panic by being caught, and so he could do damage control. Erase/destroy all evidence that could be used against him. OP, you can do better than a man who kicks you out of the house when he's been unfaithful. Stop being afraid that you won't do better. You can and you will. And stop believing this lie that men have urges to cheat. They don't. That's just something that cheaters say to excuse their shitty behavior. You are young, leave, and rebuild your life away from him. He's shown you who he really is. The lying, approaching other women, screaming when he's been cornered, and throwing you out. You deserve to be loved by someone who would never do this to you. And now, on to the update. I read a lot of comments and advice people gave me, and I realized I deserved better than that. I deserved someone that loved me for me and wouldn't need someone else to satisfy them. But something about everything really bugged me. In the screenshot that I had, there was this girl. The girl was like the main person he texted and flirted with. She was 23, and I just felt so horrible because she seemed so in love with him. I found her Instagram and I messaged her. I thought that she deserved to know what happened. She was pissed when she found out what was happening, so I can stop referring to her as she. I'll call her Jay. Jay was clearly upset at the whole situation and kept apologizing to me. Then she asked if she could take me out for coffee to talk about this whole situation. I agreed because I was curious. So basically, we met up the following day, and I talked to her about my husband, and she told me about how they met and how long they had been dating. He went behind my back and dated her for 10 months. 10 months! Which was just insane to me that he managed to find the time in between without me noticing. But here's the kicker. He was still texting her. I quickly learned that Jay was a very vengeful person because she told me that she wanted to lead my husband on for me. She told me that she herself had been cheated on before and was not going to let another cheater get off the hook like that. Jay gave me a pep talk about how I'm a strong and powerful woman and we need to stick together, which was honestly really refreshing. She said that she would continue to flirt with him and etc. and try to get him to let her come to our house. Apparently, he only met her at hotels or at her home, and then she'd get a bunch of glitter and throw it all over his stuff. Honestly, it made me laugh to think about that because my husband would be so angry. So I allowed her to do that because honestly, I don't care about any of my stuff that'll get damaged in the process. I wasn't a big spender, so I didn't have much, and I wouldn't be surprised if what I did have was already destroyed by him. I'll update you guys on that if you're interested. Update on my emotional situation. I feel a lot better than I did when I made this post. I still feel upset and I still have this feeling that it's my fault, but thanks to you guys, Jay, and the awesome friend I've been staying with, I feel a lot better. I feel angry and frustrated, but more exhausted than anything. I've gotten in contact with a lawyer, and that's a whole complicated process that I just don't want to deal with. I just want to be free of him. I feel disgusted with myself and betrayed. I mourn the relationship I had, but now that I look back on it, I was always tense and a sad shell. Sorry I'm rambling. Edit. Okay, so I forgot to mention in the post because I thought that it was obvious, but Jay genuinely had no idea that my husband was lying to her. I could tell how upset she was. It's the type of upset that you can't really describe over text. She was very apologetic to me about the situation and felt very guilty herself. Trust me when I say that she has no intentions of getting back with my husband. In the comments, don't trust Jay. She knew as well, and now suddenly had a plan all along to get back at a cheater that she's sleeping with. Sounds like she's trying to hurry and get you all the way out so that she can become the new wife. Men like your husband never change, and he'll do the same to her. OP replies, when I talked with her, she seemed like she genuinely had no idea and was very upset at the whole situation. I could really tell that she was genuine in her apologies. Messaging multiple women is not a mistake, Lamau. Right? His first reaction is, it's a one-time mistake. And then when she starts asking any questions at all, he just gets mad and defensive so he doesn't have to figure out how big that his lie needs to be. A 10-month-long one mistake. In just one sentence, OP revealed just how horribly naive and hoodwinked she is by her garbage husband. I really, really hope for her sake that Jay is being real and isn't just stringing OP along too. Honestly, I think she is very naive. The other woman, Jay, 100% knew the guy was cheating. In 10 months, you only meet at your place or hotels, like, come on. That added with the, oh yeah, I definitely want to help you out by continuing what we are doing, is definitely shady. Look at the ages. OP has been with her husband since she was 18. This is probably her only adult relationship. OP really needs to start saying soon-to-be ex. Dated someone for 10 months while being married to OP. There is no coming back from that one. It was a brief 10-month mistake. It has to be at least a year before it counts. But that's just how men are biologically. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.